So the last 5 years I've been driving, here are some of the things that keep me out of trouble, keep me rolling. So check it out. Some of the things that might even help you out, things I learned along the way. Most of it's just, easy stuff, man. One thing I didn't mention was driving with two hands. Drive with two hands, 11 o'clock positions on the left hand, or you could just vice versa. 11 o'clock on one hand, on the left, and 3 o'clock on my right. Especially on bumpy roads, it just gives you more control of the truck. So, anyways, but yeah, check out the things I said, man. Actually, like I said, these are some of the things that I do now, right now. So, check me out. Using the engine brake for brakes instead of hitting the brakes all the time. It'll save the brakes when you use the engine brake, which is money. If you're on operator, it saves you money for doing brakes. Use the engine brakes. Use the jig brakes. Getting points, fuel points when you're fueling up. I like to go to Pilot. Somebody once told me a long time ago when I was driving Swift that Pilot gives you more points. You can literally get lunch or a free meal with Pilot after a few fill-ups. Loves, they might do the same, but I personally always go with Pilot because, like I said, I can literally buy lunch after a few fill-ups, or breakfast, or dinner, or whatever I want. Because at this point, you get points, right, for however much you fill up. So you can literally buy anything in the store, anything. So I like Pilot. Pilot's the go-to for me when I fuel up. I want my points, and I want the rewards for my points. Road rage on the road. Man, I haven't had maybe more than a handful of times. The best thing that I can do is, if it gets to the point where it's really bad, I'll just pull over. I'll pull over, set me a distance between me and the other person, and just kind of like take a time out. That gives them time to get down the road, and that gives me time to cool down. And this gives me time to cool down, and it separates. Gives me some space between me and the other person, and we can just start fresh, get back on the road, have no worries. Always making sure that my doors are locked. I had that one incident when I was in Odessa, when I was driving for M Company. I forgot to lock the door because I had opened it, did something, and I forgot to lock it. I went to sleep. I woke up because I heard something like a bunch of rattling. I heard a bunch of noise up front inside the over in front of the truck. Somebody was breaking in. So always make sure you got the doors locked, or the whole truck completely secured and locked up before you go to sleep. Because you never know, man. Some fucking creeps out here. I never had this happen to me, but making a U-turn, like say on a one-way highway, one way going one direction, one way going the other direction, and especially the trailer that I got now, it's like hauling a lowboy trailer, right? And you see it's a common thing out here where drivers will, because the roads out here are small, like sometimes it's just a 2-lane road, and they don't want to go down the road and make a proper U-turn, or find a off-road where you can make a U-turn, some people just they'll make a U-turn right on the side of the highway. You know, I've done it before, plenty of times, but most of the time when I do it where it's like I got plenty of room, or I can kind of like jackknife the truck to where I'm still on the asphalt. You know, what happens is when you try to do it on two-way, most people they'll try to get into the dirt, right, and then boom, they're stuck. So they're literally stuck in, you know, trailers like hanging outside the highway, and the truck's stuck on the side of the road. Like I said, you see a lot of that in West Texas, because most of these areas are rural areas, like middle of nowhere. So they're figuring they can get away with it, but when they get stuck, they end up blocking traffic. So I always try to make sure, like the other day, I had to make a U-turn, but I just kept going so I can, turn off on one of these roads to where like I can actually turn around, so. Texas roads, never go on the side of the road, never. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just never go on the side of the road, especially if because the dirt's like quicksand. So you think you're gonna go pull over, take a nap, or pull over and handle your business or just anything. You want to make sure that that shoulder on that road is not soft, man. You've tested it, you've done that road before, you're good. But roads that you don't know, where the side could be like, because roads out here in West Texas, man, it's like beach sand. So once you get on there, you're fucked. You're not getting out. You're going to get a wrecker to come pull you out. There were times where I got stuck on the grass. Not in West Texas, but like in Louisiana somewhere. And a wrecker had to come get me. Like the grass was hard, but you just gotta be careful when you're on the side of the road. If you're not asphalt, there's always a possibility of getting stuck. So for me, I just, I try to make sure it's like real tough, a surface to where I can pull out. Like I see rocks. If I see rock pebbles on there, on the side of the road, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a hard surface. But like grass, if you see grass on the side of the road, I don't even fuck with it, man. I want to see like rocks. I want to see like you kind of know what hard surface looks like. I want to see like a hard surface. But even then, you just got to be careful. Keeping the truck clean outside, especially out here in the oil field. It's got a lot of mud, dirt. It's like sandpaper, right? So to just, for me, I think it would just keep all like the components, all the hoses, all the bags, all the rubber, from the metal on metal. Just keeps everything free of dirt and rocks, and just for me, it would just keep the life of the parts, up to par. Just like I said, there's a lot of mud, there's a lot of dirt out here, so just keeping the truck clean at all times when possible, if you could find, I found me an actual do-it-yourself pressure washer in Midland. It cost me like $20 versus paying double that at the truck wash and waiting in line. So if you could find one to pressure wash your own, I would do it that way. If you have a dog, cat, some truck companies, they'll trip because of the animal. The best way to nip that in the butt is make them a service dog. You can go online and literally just get an ID tag that's supported by the federal government. And once you get that, it's hard for them to say no. If anything, they can't even say no because the animal is protected by law. You can be slick, and with some of these companies that you go with online to make them a service dog, you can make them an emotional support. You can even make them a medical support dog. You know, you can even by far, like I got papers on Angel. You know, she's got doctor papers and all that, but I got all that stuff online. It's like $250 for the doctor papers that'll never have to be resent in every year. It's a lifetime thing. So the good thing about making your animal a service animals, you know, you don't ever have to pay for them when they go on airplanes. You don't have to pay extra out of pocket when it's time to go lease an apartment or a house, or even a hotel. You know, you don't have to pay the extra charge. So it's good to have the service animal identification. Like I said, not only some people, they actually, like when you go rent a house or an apartment, they're gonna want like doctor papers and stuff like that. You can get all that stuff online. You know, you don't necessarily have to go through a doctor, which, when you're going online, you actually are going through a doctor, but you don't ever see them. You know what I mean? So, and just try to make sure when you try to do paperwork on your animal, make sure you get the one where it's like, you know, a lifetime, where you don't have to check, you don't have to repay that $250 every year. You pay $250, it's a done deal. So yeah, it'll save you a lot of trouble once you make them a service animal. I'm not gonna talk too much about pre-trip and post-trip, but you should be doing that anyways, right? I should be doing that anyways. So I try to always keep on top of the pre-trips and the post-trips because it can save me time and money. You know, say for example, if I forget to do my post-trip after my shift, when I wake up and get ready to go, I can't go because I got a flat tire, you know, or I got leaking coolant, or I got a busted hose. When I could have had all that taken care of while I was sleeping. You know, now it's going into my shift to where I'm down. You know, where I could, like I said, I could have had that already taken care of while I'm asleep, or, you know, I would be happy, you know, just, it'd be done before my next shift, if it's possible. Enough sleep. Getting enough sleep, getting enough rest. Getting enough rest should be like number one. If you feel like you dazing off while you're driving, that's a good sign. It's probably time to pull over and take a nap. If I wake up from the nap and I'm still tired, I need to shut down. And that right there, that's a bad deal. So, anytime, like I said, anytime I get tired, I don't give a shit I'm on a load or not. Like just a minute ago, I was on a load. I took a 5-hour nap. I woke up when I woke up. You know, so just remember, I tell myself the sleep is the most important thing. Make sure I get enough rest. You know, if I'm sleeping behind the wheel, you know, if I'm dazing off, it's time to pull over. So, enough sleep, get enough sleep, no matter what. Doesn't matter. That load, that money, that shit can wait. You know, so getting enough rest. Getting enough rest is key to driving. Sugar, carbs are definitely not my friend, especially when I'm driving. This makes me sleepy. So I try to avoid it when I'm driving, especially if I know I gotta run, make some money, and, you know, stay on the road for a few hours. I avoid sugar, carbs. I just have protein, fats, you know, like pistachios, stuff like that. You know, if I'm cooking chicken or a steak, you know, lots of butter, olive oil. Those things, they give me a lot of energy. And intermittent fasting basically means you're just not eating for X amount of hours. I go 24 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours. You know, by far, if I know I need to, you know, make some money and, you know, stay focused and have some energy, I'll intermittent fast. And that right there, like, that's a powerful energy booster for me. Once you learn how to floating gears is pretty simple. You're just not using a clutch or double clutching, right? So, I'm not gonna get into detail of floating gears, but if you know how to float gears, or you should learn how to float gears, it'll save your clutch. I know I made a video a long time ago. That's probably why ooh, look at this airplane. Look at our airplane. Flying low as hell. Probably a crop duster. Anyways, speed limit when you're driving. When I'm driving, I try to stay, try not to do over 10. You don't want to go over 10. I got a ticket for that when I was driving for Swift. 9 miles over. So if the speed limit say 75, I do like 80. You know, 80, you know, 83, 82. In city limits, it's strictly the speed limit. If that thing says 45, I'm doing 40. If it says 35, I'm doing 30 or 35. I never go over, especially in Texas, man. You know, I got a baby mama. She lives in Austin, and she was telling me she got pulled over twice. She was doing like 5 over, and there was a couple times I got pulled over, but I didn't get a ticket, thank God. But yeah, it's you know, just watch your speed. I definitely gotta watch my speed for sure. Like I said, especially in city limits. I try to get my food supply to last me a couple days, so I don't have to keep stopping. I don't have to keep stopping, so it gives me a couple days of running without going grocery shopping. Keeping a safe distance. You know, they teach you this in driving school. If you went to a driving school, or even when you get your license, you want to keep a safe distance, at least a football field. You know, you don't need to be right up on them. So I try to keep my distance, man. I try to keep my distance from everybody else. You know, don't get me wrong. There's gonna be some times where you get somebody that cuts into your space, and they're like right up on you. But if you can, always try to avoid it. I always try to avoid it. I just want to have my space, you know, for stopping power, stopping distance. Just be able to feel safe to stop. So the air pressure should always be at 100. I see some people that keep it a little below 100, but to be safe, you always want to keep your PSI all the way around at 100. Checking tire pressure. I had a couple blowouts in my 5 years, and one time I was here in Odessa. I was at the Loves getting tires on, and I was like, you know what, something ain't right. You know, I've had multiple blowouts, multiple. blowouts, you know, like some two on the same day, you know. That's because my tire pressure was overinflated or underinflated. So, quick way to not have blowouts is check your tire pressure. It's a process. You know, you got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. You got 18 tires, right? 18 wheelers. It's gonna take a little bit for you to check all the tire pressure on all of them, but you know what? It'll keep you from being down and having blowouts and shit. You know, I had a blowout. Now sometimes you just can't. It's inevitable because the tires are just garbage, meaning they're cheap, right? Cheap ass tires that, you know, are eventually gonna blow, just like the tires I had on Capone on the steers. The steer tires that were on Capone when I first bought them, they were knockoffs from China, and they were actually recaps, I think. That's not even, yeah, they were recaps, I think. Anyways, they blew up on me, and I had tire pressure on there. You know what? But I never had a steer blow out on me. That was the first time. It was a little scary. But there's actually a trick for that too. If you're an owner operator, right, like myself, you want to try to, you know, have some safety features, you know, on the truck to where, you know, you can save the truck, or, you know, save parts of the truck. Because when you have a blowout, especially on the steer, you know, it can tear up the inside of the truck, like inside the wall of the truck. So that's what almost happened to me with Capone. It tore up, like, I had some nice mud flaps on there. I ripped those off. I was able to put those back on, but actually cracked some of my fiberglass wheel well. So it did some damage. So, but that's, you know, that's with a blowout like that, you can't really. There's nothing really to like fix that. But as far as like losing control, especially on your steers when you have a blowout, there's a product that Pittsburgh Power sells. It's called the I forget what it's called. Man, what is it called? Oh man, you would just have to call them up. Call Pittsburgh Power out of Pittsburgh and be like, hey, what's that device that you have that goes on to the steering rods, you know, the steering, the whole there's a steering bar that goes from each wheel to wheel, and there's a mechanism that bolts onto that. So when you do have a blowout, you know, you blow out either depending on what side the blowout's on, it'll force you to, you know, it'll turn the truck in the direction. You got to counter steer it, right? Or you'll sometimes lose control of the truck. Well, that device will keep you straight at all times, no matter what, whether you're flat, whether you have a blowout, or even if you just have completely aired up tires. It'll keep that truck pointed straight at all times, which is awesome because that'll be good on your alignment also. Trucking school companies. If you go to one of these schools, which I did, and they're trying to put you in a trucking company that you're just not feeling, don't think for 1 second you're entitled. It's a must that you go with one of those companies. You got your CDL license, and oh, by the way, if got fronted the money with a trucking school, say for where they you didn't have to come out of pocket. They have a deal with you saying that you have to. You have a deal going to one of their trucking companies that they have set up. That's just because they have a set up plan with them. That doesn't mean that you have to go there. Just don't tell them that. So, for example, like me, I had to go. Their options were total transport, I think it was, and what do you call it? What's the other one? Damn it, man. The black and red truck. What is that? You guys know what I'm talking about? What's her name? Damn it. Stevens. I didn't go to either one. I went to Swift. And so yeah. Oh. So yeah. Sign up at one of these major trucking companies, Swift, Night Transport, any of these big hitters, right? And you go there, you get your CDL license. For whatever reason, if you get fired, if you just don't, if they're just not paying you like CRSRT. When I signed up, the pay was terrible for them. Like when I was going through Swift orientation, there was actually my roommate. He had left and came to Swift because the pay was so bad. So if you get your license at one of these major companies and you feel like they just not a good fit for you, leave them. Avoid parking at truck stops, especially if it's your truck. Reason being, because you get a lot of newbies going through there, right? Including myself, but my teacher told me, my mentor, he's like, damn boy, he's like, man, when I had to back up, I didn't even have to pull up to reset myself to back in one of the trucking spots. I just eyed it, pulled right back without even, like I said, pulling up. So, if it can be avoided, try not to park at the truck stops, because a lot of times you can get clipped. The truck can get clipped in the front or clipped in the back or a side scrape on the sides. There's all sorts of problems that can happen at the truck stop. I'm sure you can pull it up. I'm sure you can pull it up. I'm sure you can pull it up on YouTube and see all the accidents on YouTube. So, if it can be avoided, try not to park at the truck stops, especially if it's your truck.